Constructing your life is about much more than just building a bank account. Each week, join real estate entrepreneur and mindset coach Austin Linney as he interviews guests who are constructing their dream lives and impacting the world around them on a daily basis. If you're an entrepreneur or wanting to start a business, or you just want to hear motivating stories of how others have overcome the odds, you are in the right place. And now for your host, Austin Linney.
Guys, welcome back to Construct Your Life. This is Austin Linney here with your Friday rant. What I'm going to talk today about is giving somebody an inch and them taking a mile. You know, I'm a very nice guy. I try to give everybody the benefit of the doubt with no judgment attached to it. That's the number one thing that people say about me. There's no judgment from Austin. I'm open to everything. I don't care what you've done in the past. I care about what you're doing right now and how you show up for yourself and for others. And, you know, sometimes, especially as a landlord, especially as a business owner, especially as somebody who's a leader of people, you've seen it in your profession, you've seen it in your job, you've seen it in your tenants. You know, we try to give everybody the benefit of the doubt. But a lot of times in life, when you give them that inch becomes a mile. And I can relate this to personal standards, right? You know, well, I didn't work out today, but it's okay. I'll work out tomorrow. And then tomorrow turns into the next week, and the next week turns into a month, and so on and so on. So if you give yourself an inch, you're going to take a mile. It's human nature. And so I say all this to say that I try to be very fair as a landlord, but somebody's behaviors and their actions will dictate future behaviors and actions until you see a change in their actions. And at some point, you have to cut your losses and you have to get extremely firm with somebody and let them know this is exactly how it's going to go down. Because if you let the inmates run the asylum, it will be pure anarchy. And so when you're a leader, when you're a business owner, when you're a landlord, I don't care if they're your friends. I don't care if they're your family. I don't care if they're the best landlord, the best tenant you ever had. When you start giving them those little inches, it's going to start adding up to a mile. So Austin, you ask, how do we go about this? Well, how we go about this is we do very firm communication with laid out expectations of what's going to take place step by step. And this is one of my weaknesses because I try to be so nice to everybody. And what happens is over time, it gets a little more farther and farther. And then, you know, they're not paying rent on the 3rd, they're paying rent on the 6th. Well, then they're paying on the 7th. Well, I know I'm going to get it. Well, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And then they don't do it. How many conversations have you had with yourself when you say, oh, you know, if I just skip this today, it'll be fine. I'll do it tomorrow. And how many times do you not do that tomorrow? At the end of the day, nobody can control you and nobody can see what you're doing when nobody's looking, but you know. And so we have to make sure that our internal temperature, our internal standards are a lot higher for other people and for ourselves. Because at the end of the day, it's with these standards, these clear communication, these expectations that proper business, proper relationships can take place. Because if you have multiple companies and you're giving a couple people of inches, eventually that's going to equate to 1,000 people having a bunch of inches. So we have to be extremely firm in what our expectations are, lay it out properly, and stick to those standards. Because it's within those standards, with those disciplines, that we are going to create the momentum. We're going to create the understanding that the entire team, the entire family is rowing in the same direction. If we're all rowing in the same direction, it's really easy to move the boat. It's when that person over there is doing what they want to, and that person over there is doing what they want to, and that person over there is doing what they want to. And you're giving that person an inch, you're giving them a centimeter, you're giving them this. And then you don't even know where you are. I'm not saying be rude. I'm not saying be ridiculous. But what I'm saying is have a standard and stick to it. Hope everybody got some value from this. We'll see you next time.
Thank you for listening to Construct Your Life with Austin Linney. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to rate, review, subscribe, and pay it forward by sharing with a friend. Most importantly, take this opportunity to start constructing your life by taking immediate action on what you learned. For show notes, resources, and more information on one-on-one coaching with Austin, visit constructyourlifepodcast.com.